Yeah, like most hailstones are. How big are they?
They are like smaller than a golf ball.
Ping pong ball?
Sure.
Okay.
That's pretty good size.
For
Yeah,
hail,
that's a good
that's
size.
devastating. That's don't go the fuck outside or you will get knocked out, maybe eventually pummeled to death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, in a place in northeastern Texas had hailstones that were about 6 inches across.
God damn.
Mm-hmm.
Holy
Yeah,
crap!
yeah. They had a picture on the news of some kid, and he had three of them in his hand, and they stood this high.
That's called hide in the fucking basement, is what that's called.
Yeah, I mean, it was like punching holes in roofs and things like that.
Yeah, basement.
God damn.
Mm-hmm.
I want at least a couple floors between me and it.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to take one of these hailstones just for shits and giggles, and I'm going to throw it in a cage at one of the animals.
Yeah.
Dude, I was gonna do that.
Right. You give me a throw roll to actually hit the small animal as it's going. They all appear to be like rabid. Some of them are throwing up,
Yeah,
some are
you might want
drooling.
to try this too if you were thinking of the same thing, Fish, because my throwing skill is for shit.
I just
mine
want to see
is,
you bounce it off Kinley's head as he's standing there thinking. That makes us all very happy.
So bad. I never mind. Yeah, never mind. It's for shit.
Yeah, he throws it and it goes through the window, and you guys just look at it.
mine's not better, but I don't see how I can. Well, here, I'll also try that. Yeah, at least I didn't fumble.
Yeah.
No problem. They appear to be in some sort of hailstone fight, Kinley.
Yay. Snow day.
I'll grab another one and go to maybe a smaller cage and drop it on top of it. Maybe I'll have better luck.
Give me a throw at plus 30. Yes, it bounces off the creature and it goes.
No change or anything.
One of the creatures, yeah, no change. One of the other creatures, a hedgehog, goes. It just is doing that over and over in a rhythmic fashion. It's almost like it's trying to speak, but it doesn't have a mouth for it.
I'm not getting anything from that.
No. Apparently, its brainwaves are not thinking.
Mm-hmm. Well,
it's trying to say time. Is that what it sounded like?
No, it sounds like Sonic. The hedgehog continues rocking back and forth.
I'll take one of the scrolls or one of the skulls and roll and throw and put it in its cage with it and see what the hedgehog does to it.
Damn it up its arse. That would have been.
It knocks it about and eventually starts licking it.
Mm-hmm.
You continue playing with your new furry demon pets.
Mm-hmm.
Well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do we have any salt?
What did you say, Jeff?
Said, do we have any salt?
Yes, there's actually a salt shaker that is labeled property of what?
Arby's.
Arby's. That's
Arby's.
right, because Arby's is sponsoring today's episode. No, they're not. And so it's a salt shaker that says property of Arby's on it, sitting on the log
Mm-hmm.
slash table.
What were you guys? Yeah, what were you guys doing with the salt?
We were prepping. We were prepping the animals for dinner.
Oh.
We were going along the same line of thought you were. Unfortunately, it did not help.
No, so salting them down didn't help any, huh?
No. Gold seems to be the only thing they're averse to, as far as we know right now.
Oh,
then we
hey.
don't have any gold.
I love gold.
What was that? Logan?
Yes?
What was that?
I was imitating Goldmember. I love gold.
Hey, we haven't tried anything to do with temperature. We could try, I don't know, roasting them or freezing them.
Yeah.
I mean, in this zone, I guess freezing is going to be a little problematic.
Well, it depends how many hailstones are outside.
Oh, hey, yeah, good point. We have our own ice now.
Mm-hmm.
No problem.
Okay.
Who wants to go out into the hailstorm to gather this shit?
I'm thinking just like finding a bucket in here and sticking it, putting it out there and let it fill up.
There you go. All right. Eventually, you get a bucket of stuff.
Okay, let's grab what's with the smallest creatures in here? Something like the hedgehog or?
No, they've got some rats and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Okay,
a couple of
I'll
those
find one of
left,
the small-
although the smallest creatures have been dying first. They're working their way up, and it's like going through a level-based killing game and stuff.
Well,
All right,
let's.
grab a feeble rat.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want one that's too lively.
All right. Pack it into the ice for a while.
Yeah,
Yep.
let's just stick that sucker in there like it's a champagne bottle.
And bury him in the bucket.
Okay. Yeah. It lays in there shivering.
Hmm.
But no wispiness. Huh? All right.
Well, I mean, if you pack it hard enough with ice eventually, or just have Kinley like crush it to death in the ice, then it should make some wispy.
We don't need to jump up and down on it.
Kinley could press it gently with his hand and pulp the creature, you're pretty sure, and then crush the iron bucket, and then possibly dig a hole and fart it into there or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point though. We haven't tried. Isn't cold iron meant to be bad for demons as well?
I think that depends on the kind of demon, but yeah, that's a good thought.
I'm gonna make sure I wash off my sword while I'm thinking about all this.
Oh yeah, that's a really good idea. No problem. You're working on cleaning up your sword and whatnot.
It could be certain metal types. It might just not be gold. I pick up the iron bucket, Logan. I take it to a fucking cage.
It doesn't appear to do anything. Unlike your small chunk of gold stuff. By the way, that if you can get that into actual, if you can get it into actual gold coins and stuff, you got at least a couple of gold coins there.
What? Gold coins?
Worth of gold in your little rock. I mean,
Not
if you
enough to
ever,
make a container.
yeah. Well, if you can make it out of gold leaf or something, but usually it requires like forges and stuff like that,
Yeah, you want gold tinfoil, basically.
They do have. Yeah, they do. I mean, that might be enough as a lining. I mean, we could go to the town. It's only an hour away once that hell goes.
I've got another idea to try.
You guys are yelling at each other over the hail.
Back and pull out a box of 9mm rounds and pull out a 9mm round.
Okay.
And I'm going to go up to one of the small animals and I'm going to touch the lead tip of the bullet to it.
It tries to bite the shit out of you.
Mm-hmm. But does it appear to be acting like it would normally, not like it would with gold?
Normally being rabid, sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that didn't work either. I was wondering if maybe it was not just gold, but metals that are near gold on the periodic chart.
Well, take a card for science.
Mm-hmm.
Science.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who knew that the big demon chained up with lots and lots of gold would be susceptible to gold? Weird.
No.
Anyway.
We knew that, but we don't have gold in us, so.
Oh well.
Mhm.
I mean, I was thinking about, I don't know if it's going to be worth it, but when this stops, we could go kind of around the countryside, just checking the lay of things. We haven't really walked around the area. I mean,
And the
while we're
demon,
doing,
yeah, my demon cat has entered the picture. Yeah.
while we're doing that,
Yeah,
we
an
could,
isolated barn would be weird. So there's probably somebody around here who owns the barn, right?
I think it's a case of the other PCs just decided to use this as a bit of a base of operation. I guess I don't know. I don't know why
Yeah,
they came here
your
initially.
guess is if anybody owns this barn, then either absentee landlord or they are the sloppiest, worst farmers ever. Eventually, the hail stops. There's like a nice covering of skulls everywhere. The buildings that were on fire eventually get put out by a bunch of angry villagers. Yeah, they don't know what's going on. They don't like it. You're thinking that they might come by to lynch you guys just in case that makes everything bad stop. And you've got a couple hours till sundown. Then the real fun should start, you're thinking happily.
Can I see the sun in the sky?
It's trying to escape, but it's very slow. You can not see the sun directly, but you can see the clouds lit by it.
So should we head to town? We could try and get this small nugget of gold I've got to see if we can turn it into some kind of leaf gold, so we could put it inside a container and hope that will trap them.
Yeah. Eventually, the symbol seems to be breaking up and becoming wispy clouds and stuff. And the sun's continuing its relentless climb down. By the time you get to town, it should be about dusk.
Wait, is there an anvil here in the barn?
Give me a luck roll at half. If so, then they've got like a low one for like, I gotta fix this horseshoe. It's done fucked up.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Oh shit.
They don't have any tools that could be used in any way to affect metals.
All right, that was worth a thought. All right, I'm for going to town then.
Okay.
You guys saddle up Jeff and ride his ass into town then?
Moo, moo, I say, moo, moo.
Oh yeah, he's wearing his cow armor. Is that yes? Well, no?
Well, I'm not getting saddled, and they're not riding me, but if we want to go to town, that's fine.
Oh. All right, so off to town, Matt?
Yep.
Cut two, you guys reach town. It's about dusk. You notice nobody is on the street. The shops themselves seem closed up and barred up. It's almost like the entire village is scared to death for some reason. Your boots crunch through the skulls and stuff. The same way you're thinking that stepping on the skulls of your enemies would cause them to crunch in a very satisfying way. It was shitty traveling here through all this.
So the police officer that we met up with earlier came from, he's going to have some sort of office?
Yeah, you can go look for his office if you want. I thought you were after a blacksmith.
I'm just keeping an eye out for it. I'm not redirecting us.
Okay. Yeah, eventually you find it because it's set up on a pretty simple Old West type thing. So once you discover where Main Street is in the center of town, then it's like, there's the blacksmith, there's the sheriff, there's the bar, they're still open, and a lot of people in the bar now. Oh, yeah.
I'm keeping an eye out for the sheriff then.
Probably in the bar.
I'll let you know if you see him.
All right.
See if they sell donuts at the bar. I bet he'll be there.
Do you want to go into the bar and demand donut?
No, that's all right. The sheriff probably has them all.
Oh,
They're under lock.
Smithing doesn't usually go well at night, so maybe we get back to the hammering and the anviling of the gold in the morning.
They do have a hotel down the street.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's gonna take a while to do that. What kind of
I
tech
think-
am I looking of this town? Is it like Old West style?
Oh yeah, you're in the Old West, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I don't think I've
And-
ever been to this town, so
Some drunk. You've been to the zone a few times, but now you're in a different town within the same zone. Some
okay.
drunk guy staggers out, comes up, looks at you guys, looks at Kinley, looks at the guy in cow armor. He comes up and goes, "Fuck you, cow!" And he wanders off. He was like a rhino-headed guy. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's stop in at the bar.
Yeah, that's right. You old rhino, go rhino hide somewhere.
Yeah, what? He says. He looks confused. You guys head into the bar, and yeah, it is fucking packed. Oh, there's the sheriff. See him right away.
Mm-hmm.
He's drinking along with everybody else, and people are all muttering to each other. Give me empathy rolls. As soon as you guys walk in, muttering all stops. Everybody looks at you guys.
Missed it by that much.
Yeah, I got it.
Those who made it at a quarter think somebody should say something, probably not the guy dressed as a cow. And whatever you say could determine exactly how the next couple of minutes of your lives or lack thereof will work out. Villagers are angry, scared, and violence is very close from quite a few people, although they could also want reassurance or something. They need somebody to say some words that will make a difference.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Everybody looks at
we
you.
are here to rid you of your demon problem.
They all lean forward and look
We
at you.
will not rest until this scourge is gone. Now show me to my room.
Give me a fast talk roll. And take a card.
Negative
Yeah.
60.
He gets
Do I have
applause at this, and somebody pops up and shows you guys to the rooms. The village is happy to put you
Don't
up.
make my new shit.
The village
Do I
is,
have any local currency?
No. Not that I'm aware of. As far as I know, you're penniless. You're pretty much a pauper wandering around with your pockets turned out.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fortunate because they're not charging you for anything. They just take you to a hotel, they put you up in rooms, and people applauded and said, "Oh, the Australians are here, they'll fix it." And the constable said, "Without using any magic, I'm sure." Glares at Kinley for some reason. He's still suspicious.
While the sheriff's close by and in earshot, I would like to ask him, has this infected any people? Or is it just animals?
So far, it's just animals, but we're keeping an eye on everybody. Everybody, he says, and he slowly looks over at Kinley. Dun, dun, dun,
That's
dun,
a
dun, dun, dun.
wise precaution.
Oh, yeah. I like precautions, he says, and glares at Kinley. Dun, dun, dun.
Risky.
And the bartender slides a glass down the bar. It's coming a bit too fast as he has misjudged his aim just a bit. Give me a catch roll as you're trying to do it in such a way to not splash the whiskey out over the top of the glass.
Crit.
Everybody goes, ooh.
I look at everybody and go, "He's a pro." Pointing at him.
When it comes to
Oh.
whiskey.
Yep, there's no one better. Yep.
They look pretty impressed with that. So they take people get sent to take you over to the hotel. A little kid with a deer head and antlers, or little nubs of antlers. He goes, "You want me to see to your horses, mister?"
I'd say yes, if but I didn't bring one.
Ah, he says, "How about you two?"
I don't remember having a horse.
Oh,
No, thank you, but no.
all right. He goes off looking confused, like, "But how did they get here then? Everybody uses a horse." Right, you guys get shown to your room at the hotel. There's nothing really to write home about, but the bed's soft, and there's even a place to clean up with like a little wash basin, take a little horse bath as it's known, and maybe strip your cow armor off for a couple hours of sleep. God, you
Yep.
smell
And
horrible.
I'll wash the
make-
cow armor too, see if I can get it to smell a little bit better.
Give me your leather carrying roll, like what Freddy's been trying to do.
I make sure that the animal has some food and water.
What animal?
We brought an animal with us, didn't we?
Nope.
One of the infected animals? I thought that's what we were doing.
Nope. Look out, Matt shaking his head no.
No, I mean,
He's
came
brought a
here to-
gold rock with him, that's it.
we came to try and get something lined with gold, but I don't think we're going to have enough to do that. So I've got maybe another idea. I don't know if it's going to work or not.
You guys get a good night's sleep. Throughout the night, you heard occasional screaming in town and whatnot, but you guys have all been through a lot of shit, so you sleep through it. Unless it comes into your room, you're not even going to get worried about it. Morning eventually dawns. The town's looking haggard and fearful and irritated. And as Kinley said before, these are simple people, people of the soil, the clay on which the West is made. You know, morons.
Mm-hmm.
Logan, do they have an apothecary here?
Yes, they do. They mainly deal with herbs and shit, because these are
Yeah, that's
farmers.
Fine.
Would you like to mosey to the apothecary?
Yeah.
No problem. They of course sell laudanum, laudanum plus, cocaine gum, things like that, as well as
Go for
various.
more kind of
drugs.
healing herb type things.
Sure, give me your herbalism roll as you look at this stuff, because chemistry is not going to cut it here. If you had like proper labels of stuff as opposed to dead plants, that would be a big help.
How about medicine?
No.
I was hoping it was going to be a alchemy roll, but I don't
Eh.
know. I will try my herb law, which I guess is basic.
Yeah, alchemy is for when you get the herbs and stuff, and you're like, okay, like we know what shit is. You look at all the unfamiliar plants. You're thinking you're going to have to consult with the pharmacist, who will probably blow their roll and give you a bunch of belladonna, claiming that it's a simple aspirin.
So this is what I'm thinking of doing.
The guy behind the counter takes off his spectacles off of his cow head, polishes them, looks at Mr. Wallace as though Mr. Wallace is doing, like, pretty much, he's looking at Mr. Wallace like Mr. Wallace comes in wearing blackface. Polishes his spectacles, puts them back on, and he goes, "How may I help you, sir?"
We are attempting to cure the demoned animals. I believe through a mixture of special herbs, maybe some golden flakes, and some other special ingredients, that I might be able to come up with a concoction.
I see.
Goldschlager. We need Goldschlager.
Do you have any herbs that are especially good at kind of possession, demon killing stuff?
Not that I'm familiar with at all, sir. I've never sold herbs for that. Usually, when people come here, they either have some sort of bowel movement, problem keeping the yang up, ghost in their blood, the usual.
Ghost in the blood.
For that, I recommend cocaine. He pushes the
Of course you
packet
do.
toward you.
Cocaine makes everything better.
Actual Old West medicine. They have a lot of different tonics and shit, which are usually filled with a combination of drugs and or poison and other things. Like alcohol is a big part of everything because if you get drunk enough, you may forget you have piles. Of course, that does require getting pretty goddamn drunk.
Hey, there's a general store here, right?
Mm-hmm. And there's a tool store, there's a seed store, there's all the kind of farmer equipment stores.
How about a church?
No.
No church.
I'd like. Hey guys, I'd like to stop by the general store here at some point pretty soon. What was that about the library?
I just asked if they had one.
No. Books is there's only actually you don't see one. You can ask people if you want about books.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let's go to the general store. I can ask somebody there.
Matt, are you also okay with going to the general store?
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
You guys all go to a general store and you find the one book that they have for sale. It's the Farmer's Almanac, and you notice that every copy, like here's the binding up near the top. There's a hole punched all the way through it. Just one hole at the top of the corner near the binding and stuff. Pretty good sized hole too. You can almost get your pinky through it.
Bullet hole?
No, all the books have them, all of them, and they're all very uniform, as though it was made this way for reasons.
Hanging on a hook, probably. Well,
here at the general store, I want to get some wool or preferably silk.
They don't have any silk. What was the other thing you wanted?
Wool.
Wool they have. The guy goes, how much wool would you like to buy, sir?
Yeah, maybe, a square foot or a little more.
How about a meter, he says. He gets some wool. And he goes, it's only 25 cents for a meter.
Can you charge that to my room?
No. He looks at you oddly, like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I'll have to get back to you on that.
All right. He says, we do more of a cash and carry thing here. The rabbit-headed guy nods at you.
Should have been more prepared.
He looks at you. Is there anything for you? New Farmer's Almanacs came in. Softest paper yet.
why do they have a hole in them?
Hang from the hook in the outhouse, he says.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Better than corn cobs.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact, they used to use corn cobs to wipe their ass, and I still don't know how the fuck that would work.
I don't want to know, yeah.
Hopefully they ate the corn first rather than after. That's all I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
You guys hang out in the general store for a while, and the rabbit guy watches you like, I don't know what's going on.
How much for the almanac?
Almanac's $1, he says.
Ah.
So you need $1.25.
But it'll last you
right
the
back.
whole year.
Yeah. It's good to know the weather.
That too, he says. Kinley seems to be standing there lost in thought.
Okay, well, I got nothing to do here without money and don't have that, so anybody want to move along to some other location?
Yeah. Dunno.
Maybe try the gold leaf thing at the blacksmith?
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I'm thinking it's going to cost more than, or it's going to, well, it's not even cost, but it's going to take more than the amount of gold we've got to line a whole vial. And even then, I don't know how it's going to work. How are we going to? You can't funnel the thing into that container unless that's also gold lined. So it'd need more gold for that. So which means putting the animal directly into the container that's gold lined and killing it. But then you can't open it again, otherwise it's going to escape. So how are we going to get 60 animals worth of death and escape and trapping at the same time?
Yeah, so you guys know that the gold contains them?
No,
Yeah.
we don't even know that. We know
Well,
it's averse to them when they are in a physical body. It's like touching a cattle prod to them.
Are you guys working on clearing up the animal problem? Says the rabbit-headed guy.
Yep.
He
Yes,
gets
you got it.
He gets you your meter of wool and throws an almanac. He says, "There, I've done my bit."
Cheers,
Hey,
mate.
thank you very much.
Yeah, we appreciate the help. I'll
If
page
an almanac
if there's
helps you
anything.
somehow, I have no idea how it could, but I'll give one up. Nobody will say that Jack stinted you.
Yeah, well, that's the
We
first thing I
appreciate
should do. Paging through the book, see if I can think of see anything in there that might be helpful.
Nah, it's got a
let's-
lot of homespun wisdom that is only clever if you are not.
Let's go back to our room quickly and just have a brainstorming session here. Let's see if we're missing anything or something like that. Go somewhere where we're not going to get disturbed.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Jack.
He
Cheers,
waves
Jack.
at
Thank you. Go to the room. Okay, so let's lay it all out. I always find this kind of helps if we just lay it out and then see if we can come up with ideas from that. So we know that curing poison, disease, magic seems to destroy the evil.
Okay.
When we did that, nothing came out of the animal. But magic here really sucks. So it's hard to do that often. And on a big scale, it would just be too much. So we know gold is like touching lightning to them in a physical body. All we know is it kind of pushes them when they're not in a physical body. So having something gold lined might keep them, but it might not be for long. So I'm not sure how good that's going to be. And like I said, how do you then get them, that many without, literally having to stuff one in, kill it, and then it's just going to be dead bodies going to pile up inside. And you get something big enough to fit everything in, but then you can't open it because they're just going to escape. I was trying to think of something along the lines of if we could make something that they would eat, or the animals would eat or drink, and say somehow manage to infuse it with the kind of the healing energies and maybe the gold and a bunch of other things that when they drink or eat that maybe it would, so we could do it on a mass scale. Because I don't know, I feel like attacking each individual animal is not the way to go here, because it's going to take ages, and we don't have the magic to be able to do that here.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
We were at the apothecary. What about asking him for herbs for curing poison and for curing diseases, and then making something out of that and just feeding it to all the animals?
Hey. That seems like a pretty good plan, actually.
Could be a good start.
Another thing that we haven't tried is electricity.
You do like that electricity, don't you? I'm not sure exactly where we're going to get anything that can electrocute these things.
Well, I have this wool, and I've heard that if you rub wool on something like a glass rod, it'll become charged, and that could give a minor zap.
It wouldn't be a minor zap either.
You can give it a go, but I'm definitely liking Jeff's idea. If we can try and get some healing kind of disease, poison herb, anti-poison disease herbs, because, I mean, that magic seemed to work, so kind of makes me feel like they are somehow classed as either a poison or a disease. That's something that could be drawn from the body, or even just cured from the body if done enough. So we could maybe make up maybe even leave the gold for now. Maybe that's not a good way to go, because that might affect the solution. But if we could try and get some herbs and make up a kind of remedy with that mixture in, and if I'm able to maybe infuse it with a bit of kind of, healing magic to booster it, feed it, make one of the things drink it, see what happens. Could be a possibility.
We could try one for poison. We could try one for disease. We can try one for poison and disease.
Give me your analyze magic roll there, Kinley. Since you have anybody who has the cure disease spell may also roll, but I think he's the only one that has that. You are thinking, Kinley, though it's a lovely idea, you do not have the magical power to infuse anything. In fact, infuse isn't even a spell thing currently.
No, but I thought maybe just kind of almost like a religious blessing type thing. Not that it, a kind of the passing the magic through the liquid might. I don't know. I'm just coming up with ideas, mate. Here, I'm struggling at the moment. So
yes, everybody is, but don't worry. There's plenty of other things to go and attempt if you guys fail horribly at this.
Well, no, this needs to be taken care of, or otherwise it's going to fester like everything else does. So
yes, I'm just trying to distract you away from it. But if the skull hail didn't do it, I don't know what's going on.
Fuck your skull hail.
All hail, skull hail.
So let's keep trying to go with this, because if we can come up with a couple of other solutions, it saves us going back and fucking forth all the time. So if we can come up with maybe a couple more things to try, if we need anything, we can get it from here, go back to the barn and try our stuff. So okay, so infusing it's probably not going to work, but maybe the herbs, maybe some kind of curing poison antidotes or herbs, if he has any of those, might work.
Yeah, let's ask him.
And since we're going to the apothecary anyway, maybe we could get like a glass jar, which could be used to trap an animal inside and then be charged up by getting rubbed with wool to see if that has any effect on what's going on there.
There are already glass jars back at the thingy. You could just use one of those.
Wait, do they have metal lids?
Yeah, they don't have glass lids. That's crazy talk. Who has a glass lid?
An apothecary probably would.
Yeah, their tech isn't quite good enough for. I mean, they've got glass lids, but they're rubberized or rubber-like gasket things around them. But because they got, if they really want to keep it in, they get a nice piece of cork.
It also would be just, I don't know. It'd be kind of, I don't know how. No, that's not going to work. That would just be boring as hell and take ages. We'd have to roll so many times. There'd be so many fumbles. But we also
cure disease on each of them.
Well,
I was gonna say just so you guys know, the solutions I've come up with don't involve like hundreds of rolls and shit. Because it's boring as fuck.
Yeah, well, we don't know what you know though, do we? That's the thing.
You usually read my mind, which is annoying.
Something like this.
No, thank God I've got a secret at last. I'm so happy.
I mean, we can try and get the blacksmith. I was thinking about, unlike making golden, kind of a golden flake, as in a physical thing that could line something. I was thinking if he could basically make the gold that's inside there into almost like a dust. That could be a way, but see, the problem is all gold seems to do is irritate them or hurt them or drive them out of the body. It doesn't. That's the big thing. We can't. If we just keep driving them out, they're just going to keep going into different bodies.
Yeah, it would be great if we knew something that would attract the evilness.
Yeah,
As
that would
in,
help too.
yeah, draw it into something where it might be contained or whatever we do to it.
Yeah, unfortunately, we just don't have the knowledge to do that.
Well, we've tried. We know a few things that don't work.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. It inhabits flesh, so obviously it's drawn to flesh.
Yeah, I think it's a bit more than. I think it's more kind of sentient. Well, not, yeah, living creatures type thing. So
Yeah.
like a possession would be. But yeah,
Well,
I mean, you're right. Something that would draw the if something would draw it, that could be very handy because then we could have like all the diseased animals come to us, and it might be easier to. But we haven't got anything yet that attracts. We don't know of anything that attracts the evil.
They've always been very fond of wood chippers. If you can get a big enough wood chipper, they all want to go see what's in the box of mysteries in the back, right?
So you're basically saying would chip up the whole populace of animals in this current surrounding forest.
No, but it would be fucking badass, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, that might get us some kind of reputation.
just people getting fed in. What? I'm busy.
I'm not infected. I can't take that. Can't take that.
What was the biggest animal that was infected?
How much chip would a wood chipper chip if a wood chipper would chip?
There was a tied up doe, so pretty big.
I think the longer we leave this, the more stronger they'll get, the bigger things they'll be able to inhabit, and eventually they'll start infecting the humanoids and higher intelligence around this area. That's why we need to get on this now.
Yeah, a deer is pretty good sized.
Yeah, but I mean, in majorities at the moment, most of the things are of a smaller. If you're a sentient demon and you're looking to possess something in the means to destroy other things, you wouldn't go into like a hedgehog unless you had to start with, in order to build up your strength to be able to go into. It's going to be tougher to go into bigger creatures. It's going to be then even tougher to go into things that have like will and able to resist said things.
Well, yeah, I get what you're saying, except seems like they would have already infected a person if it could.
It tried to, but it couldn't.
Oh, you've seen that happen?
Well, I heard apparently Freddy himself tried to get possessed, but it wasn't strong enough.
Wait a minute, he tried to get possessed?
He was tried to possess him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it is okay. It is trying to do that. Then I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So the idea is it's going to basically keep. It's going to keep probably trying to possess things and keep them possessed as long as they can, to keep getting stronger and stronger, to eventually get to a point where they will be able to infect other things, which would not be good, because then we'll have a bunch of humanoids running around trying to kill each other, which is no bueno. I play Insight.
Yay.
On the other hand, maybe what we need to do is sacrifice somebody.
Interesting.
I just noticed everybody's wearing a blue shirt today. Does that mean you're all part of the science team?
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, we didn't. I wore the red one yesterday, and I didn't get killed off, so I was feeling lucky today.
Okay.
I'm playing Insight on the gate and time tree.
I can't imagine why you would want anything from that tree.
Nah.
Yeah.
Tree. Gate and time tree. Revised. I need to actually do all this. I'll do this later because there's apparently a lot that I haven't done.
I wonder what would happen if you. How do you plan on leaving this zone when we're done?
Well, I have ways for us to travel.
Well, what if, as an example, if we can find a way to help nudge the spirit out of one of the animals or kill an animal and the spirit goes, what would happen if we left a deer like in the middle of the barn and we killed all these animals and all these little wispy things came out? What do you think the odds are that they might try to coalesce together then enter the deer?
From what we've gathered from the earlier experiments, they don't generally seem to kind of mill together. The 2 or 3 experiments we did before you got here, they all just went off in different directions.
Ah, gotcha.
So I'm guessing we would just kill a load and they would all go, hey, we're going to go, fuck off somewhere else.
Habit.
Yeah, I see what you mean, that they might go for the closest body, but I'm not even sure that each one would be able to inhabit more than one body. That would be a pretty risky thing to try out, considering we'd be loosing multiple ones back out into the wild.
I understand that, but what I'm wondering is if we take the deer with us and put it in the barn, and as we're doing things, if one of the animals dies and we can see if it goes directly to the deer, thinking it might be the next available host. If we can get several of them to actually go to the deer, you could then take the deer out of the zone.
I think you're onto something there, but I think we ought to try that with the town drunk or somebody who won't be missed.
I think that was all of them from what I could tell at the bar.
Well, somebody who won't be missed anyway, and somebody who's silly enough to let us do that with them.
Wow. He went from like figure out a way to trap demons to ritual sacrifice really quickly. It's like, hey, if this plane goes down, do we go for cannibalism on the first day or wait till the second or within the hour? I don't know. What's the etiquette on whose leg to eat first?
Hey, I'm old-fashioned. You know, this is the old-fashioned way of dealing with demons, isn't it?
Yeah, okay.
Scapegoat.
Yeah.
What is the magic like here?
Terrible. That's the biggest problem.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Because magic was good here, I would just go around going, cure disease, cure disease, cure disease.
Yeah.
But it's so hard that I'd probably be able to get maybe 1 or 2 in before I would inevitably fumble and blow myself and maybe you guys up as well.
I don't need another tail. That's all right. Although, if you grow another tail, maybe we can get the demons to possess it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the other thing as well is that a lot of these things generally won't always necessarily need a particular spell or something to be cast because, not everyone has those abilities. So it'd kind of suck if that was the only way of getting rid of them. So I'm guessing there's other ways of getting rid of them, but I'm running out of things to even try because
I'm down to going the herb route and trying several different herbs, whether they're try individual herbs and then combinations.
I wouldn't mind trying to come up with just a couple of ideas, though, even if they might seem a bit silly, just so there's other things to try. If that doesn't work, because like I said, it's a bit of a distance to get back to the barn.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeff, everybody give me your demonology rolls. Demonology. Somebody's gonna get fucking checking that this session. I'm pretty sure.
I want to check in that.
Yeah. Jeff does, but he can't roll. Cool. You're thinking if you're going to use the herbs and stuff, there should be 7 of them. Maybe some spices.
I've got spice law as well. Can I try my spice law then?
Certainly.
Can it be that the one of the most useless skills I had to pick up because I was playing with Freddy could be the answer to all this?
You're thinking that if you can get the demons to possess chickens, use 7 herbs and certain spices
fuck
on
you.
them, then you can make an evil KFC because they didn't sponsor us, unlike Arby's.
Now, does anybody know the circumstances that led up to Freddy having to fight off the possession?
No, I think they were trying things out like we were. He mentioned something about saying the demon's name 3 times or something, but
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
And that freed the spirit from the body, and then it tried to possess him, but was too weak, so it buggered off. Or it went into him, and then he said he managed to shit it out. So, yeah, interesting that they haven't actually tried to do that on us yet. Which is.
Oh wait, so did it fail to possess him, or did it get him and he got rid of it?
Yeah.
Because if he pooped it out, then that sounds like he got into him.
It said he shit it out, but yeah. I mean, I will try and get the exact words he used, but he can be quite vague.
Yeah. Although I still love Freddy the Explorer. It's like, I have explored this entire town. Really? What's in that building? Don't know. How about we go over to... I don't know. And what's up? No clue. When you say explored, we wandered through it quickly. Not even kidding. Literal quotes. Well, maybe not exact quotes, but pretty goddamn close. But when he can be motivated to take good notes by recording them and painfully typing them back in later, he does a really good job.
Fucking hell, probe boards are having an issue.
It's just super
rare. So he basically said a little bit more information. The name of the demon who split up into several smaller bits and is possessing the animals is called, as we posted before, Shikravendar, whatever the fuck it's called. Possessed animals are effectively dead. Their organs, etc., are blackish and inedible. Eating them may cause several severe interstitial diarrhea. We managed to draw one out of the spirits. So you mean draw one out from the animal without killing the animal. Draw one of the spirits out without killing the animal by chanting the demon's name 3 times. Though this may not always work and it may have mixed results. So do not rely on it for any consistency. As soon as the spirit came out, the animal dropped dead, hence why we believe they are already dead. Yes, zombie, sure, whatever. The gold has more of an effect while they are still possessed. It has much less effect than when they are in spirit form. It did not seem to harm the spirit at all. It just pushed it a little. We theorize that the gold has some sort of contaminant property, which would explain why the demon was chained up in solid gold. Perhaps it prevents the spirits from leaving the body it is in. Just a theory. Some ideas on how to deal with it. Figure out a way that all the demons. That's taking 1,000 coins worth of gold. We don't have that, so fuck that. Anything about him getting picked up? We could try and find a demonologist. Man.
You look around you look out the window, it just shows this like really fucking back-ass town. The only reason there's a town here is they got a lot of good farming that can be done. And you look outside, go, maybe we can find a demonologist, and you see this guy doing like a nasal exploration and stuff. And he's just looks around, looks shocked at what he finds, puts it in his pocket, goes back standing there looking confused.
Well, at least you didn't eat it.
He's saving it.
So where did this thing come from originally? I mean, was it in the barn, tied up in the barn, or somewhere else, and then people went over to the barn?
This thing was initially chained up in a place about 3 days from here. It was chained up with a big, like ruin-encrusted dwarven ruin gold collar, which had magic on it that prevented it from killing itself. But of course, we only found this out after we rushed and killed it, which meant we basically set it free.
Well,
So,
somebody already captured it and put it into those binds. So we need to figure out what they did.
Any dwarves in these parts?
How did it come to be 3 days away? I mean, did somebody take the demon with as they were going along, and then 3 days later take a chop at it?
We went into a place that was 3 days away from here, found it in a physical form, killed it, and then it turned into loads of small forms that were incorporeal, and they just flew out. So they have flown. This could be one of many areas that are affected.
So yeah. Anywhere within a 3-day radius of the original slaying.
Yeah.
That's a lot of.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. You know, it's gonna be ridiculous to try and deal with this one thing at a time. We need to find something that affects all of them simultaneously. Something that's passed on, or like, you know, I don't know, something that we can spread in a wide area. But we have to find that cure first. You know, even whether it's a cure or it stops them from possessing something else, it does. All the animals in the area can die. I don't give a shit. That's not the point. We need to find something that either cures them or destroys them or stops them from being able to enter in another animal, and then we stop the cycle. But we need to be able to distribute that in a massive area. That's the big dilemma. That's what's making this so hard. But we've got the animals back there to test on, so if we can find something that cures them or something that we can do that doesn't involve stuff we can't do here, like magic or have copious amounts of gold, then we can then try and work on a way of distributing that cure or weapon or whatever it is to the masses.
Well, I like Mr. Wallace's plan of the herbs and all.
Yeah,
trying that.
I'm a bit worried. I think it's a great idea, and I definitely think it's one to try. But like I said before, if we can come up with a couple of others, because I'm a bit worried that the non-magical herbs might not have the effect that we want. But,
I get you. I hear you. But the alternative that I see to that is, I forget who suggested find a demonologist. Is that also you, Mr. Wallace?
No, I said that.
Inspiring to be.
That could be tough going, because
and that
could take a
means
long.
I need a library and a lot of time to read.
Yeah, that's the alternative to a demonologist, is find a tome of demonology.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And again, we haven't really tried applying electricity to any of these things.
Yeah, well, that's something else we can do. That's another option to try. Now I'm thinking about it. We're in this room. Are there any demons in here?
None that look
They've been
obvious.
listening to us all this time.
And it shows the camera focus in on Kinley, who immediately assumes demon form. No, yeah. Now, if there are, you don't see any. Yeah, I mean,
I can try something here. It's gonna be, we'll see how it turns out. But fuck it, might have. Loads
dear.
of crap coming on. Demonologist's Tomb. 2 words. I try again. Demonologist's Tomb. And the last one. Demonologist's Tomb. Yay. After 30 minutes, I leave it to you, Logan.
You said demonologist tomb.
Tome.
I think he meant tome.
Oh,
I said
tome.
tome.
So
No, I didn't say
I was
tomb,
going
I
to
said
give you
tome.
I was trying to figure out if
Fucking
you could
no.
get a whole coffin through there.
Tome, not tomb.
It sounded like tomb to me.
Maybe. But I'm English.
Yeah, English does not excuse bad English. Let's see.
Shut up.
And yeah, let's see.
At least you didn't ask for a bloody demonologist tome. You might have got one drenched in blood.
I can only say 2 words.
Oh.
Trying to think if there's any. Okay, give me a shadow lore roll as indeed a book pops up.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crit that.
Well, you're thinking that given how far you had to reach, that they don't have one in the. Basically, it goes for the lowest hanging fruit first, and it took a little bit longer than you would expected. And you're thinking you've got one. It's written in some strange language, and you're thinking it might be from a whole different shadow.
Fucking hell. That's brilliant.